Well, the Shakti is the life force. It's the light of life itself. And really it's the light that comes that's reflected in this whole humanity, because this entire humanity is like a light bulb. It's reflecting back the Shakti. So Shakti is the feminine energy, the creator of life.
My name is Joya, and it is my mission to bring a message to the world, a message of light. When you can put light into your life, into your day, into every moment, you shift the energies around you and eventually the world. How would your day be different if you really knew that you were a divine being walking through?
And of course, thank you to all of our amazing guests who are joining us tonight. Joyacomeaux, and I'm excited to introduce her. She is a woman of many talents. In 1993, she founded the Family of Light, which is a spiritual sanctuary for those seeking deeper connection, healing, and awakening. She empowers individuals through self-healing practices, divine feminine wisdom, galactic resonance, and sacred surrender to source. No matter your path or name for the divine, we honor it. And Joya has her Sedona Wellness Weekend retreats, which we'll be learning about, as well as her galactic seance. And she also has a powerful healing journey and story for herself, healing herself, that we'll hear. And she has a new Soul Search TV show coming out as well, which is in progress. So we have a lot to chat about. Thank you, Joya, for joining us tonight. Welcome.
Thank you. Where do I begin? If I begin at the beginning of my spiritual experience, it was really, I was in the corporate world and I was the chief financial officer of a New York Stock Exchange company. So I was deep into my masculine self, and that was not my divine masculine self. Spirit wakes you up with what you need to know, or what attracts you. So my sister called me one day, and she called me back, and that's not like her. So because nobody got to talk to me at work. I mean, I was always busy, don't talk to me. So I said, oh God, I have to call her back. What's happening? Well, she had a psychic friend. He saw a big hammer coming down on my head, and he wanted to tell me what was happening. Anyway, what he told me was, I'm going to know in a couple of days, I'll know what's happening and I'll tell you what to do. And literally in about 3 days, he called me and said, okay, the stock's going to be going up. Go ahead and sell and make sure you do all these things. And I was like, what in the heck? The stock went up. I sold. I made a ton of money. So I was like, okay, now you got my attention, When I started on my spiritual path, really started working with energy, I felt it. I felt it and I understood it. But for me, I was just so exhilarated by being able to really experience something inside of myself. I left the corporate world and I literally went on a journey around the world. I traveled the world for 10 years, working with all these spiritual masters in all these locations of the world. And that was the awakening. And I did write a book called Ave Maria, Angels Sing a Journey to Remembrance. And the reason I did that was because I found my divine feminine self. I experienced the goddess. But here in Sedona is a place that, for me, I have a great relationship with Egypt and Mexico and India and all these places that I've spent a lot of time with. But in the United States, for me, it's Sedona. I've had key teachers that have helped me. And I do share the teachings that I learned from them, because it's gotten me into a place where most people, I would say, want to be, in that place of inner peace, in that place of very centeredness, being able to be in the now and be able to live in that place of self-love, self-healing, non-judgment.
Determination. The same determination from my grandmother, the same intent that she still has from her ancestors is still coming.
First, vamos a curarnos nosotros.
We will heal ourselves.
Vamos a curar ahora
So now we're going to heal
nuestro corazón.
our heart.
Poner la mano,
Turn around.
pedirle a Dios, Padre,
We say, Father,
concédeme en este
grant
momento
in this
que mi
moment
corazón quede
that my heart be
aliviado, que no esté enfermo, que no
not
me
be
pase
sick,
nada.
be healed,
Si
and
es tu
nothing
voluntad,
happens.
Padre,
If it's thy will,
entonces va a
Father.
poner su mano
So you're going
en
to
el
put your hand
corazón.
on your heart,
Esta mano
this
izquierda la
hand
ponen aquí.
on top, excuse me,
Entonces esta mano,
and this
con
hand
este dedo,
with this finger,
vamos a limpiar
we're
así,
going to start one like
hasta el
this,
estómago,
into the stomach, the
toda
plexus
la
solar,
parte de aquí.
all
Hacen
this,
3 veces
do it 3
un
times,
pase. Entonces hacen una limpieza,
and we do a cleansing,
todo su cuerpo,
like you know, like you're
limpiando
cleaning
así.
dishes or
Tiran,
something.
vuelven a pegar
And
así,
then you go like
limpiando,
this, clean,
limpiando,
clean,
limpiando
clean,
todo.
clean, clean, clean.
Hacen una limpieza en su estómago,
And you do your stomach,
que tengan enfermos, los
and then you
tiran.
throw it out to the ground to Mother Earth to be
Que su
transformed,
corazón esté sano.
so that your heart will
Ponen
be.
una inyección
And
espiritual
you put a spiritual injection
aquí en el corazón.
here in your heart, and like this, just like if you were doing a needle,
Así.
like that.
Usually, what I do, and I haven't done this for so long, so usually what I do is like this. I have to bring this back to my memory. I usually go like this because I'm literally making this whole body something sanctified. And I'm becoming one with it. You start with the head, and you start the cleansing. Now let yourself be in your intuition, be in your natural knowing. Don't let that judge come in here. There's no place here. The back of the neck is the place where a lot of light comes in. Some subtle, very subtle, yeah? Let it just go. And just clean down the body like that. Then, it's easier when people are laying down. Yellowish, and just to read it, that could mean kidney or liver. And depending on what she would see in the egg, would determine how many egg cleansings she felt you needed. And you can really, you do them to yourself, and you'll see the difference in your own egg. If you do it, at least 2 days, because you'll see today's egg and you'll see tomorrow's egg. And first of all, you feel it immediately. You'll feel something, the energy feels lighter,
You don't feel heavy anymore.
Yeah, you can, sometimes, how sometimes you feel like you got like you can't think. It's like, and, do an egg cleansing. It's amazing how it works. Just really, it's a power object, and it pulls the negativity, it pulls the illusion, it pulls what's not you.
And like Father says, it's because we are sharing the Toltec work. We are the Toltecs. And we're not talking about 2,500 years ago, he says. Talking about the Toltecs of today.
When I first started, I had the very fortune that my sister was in a relationship. My sister's passed now. So my ex-brother-in-law is Don Miguel Ruiz, the 4 agreements. Now, I will say that those 4 agreements, 1, be impeccable with your word. 2, don't make any assumptions. The last one is always do your best. Don't take anything personally. That's the big one, right? Don't take anything personally. Okay, if you just read the book and you just say, oh, those sounds good. But if you live them, if that becomes for you, I would say emotional cleansing. Because everybody that I experienced on my journey wants a magic pill. They want a magic pill. I haven't found that magic pill. I find that there's a lot of things to do in order to get to where you want to be, but you have to go through, as they say, peel those onions, right? Peel the onion, peel the onion. So let's say down the chakras, right? You're working with your lower chakras. If you can really take each one of those 4 agreements and live by it, you will go through an emotional cleansing process. And this is a shamanic process where, a lot of the tools also are you are going through an inventory of all of the emotions, all of the energy that you've given out, all of the attachments that you've had to people. But if you go through this emotional cleansing process, and it takes sometimes everything you have, I mean, I literally made it my full-time job for years. it just cleanses you. It cleanses you, and it cleanses your whole body, your mind. It frees you up. It is freedom. I had a 5-year apprenticeship with Don Miguel, and we went to Teotihuacan. We did a lot of work on those lower chakras, a lot of work.
This journey is taking us through the eye of the needle, leading us back into the arms of the mother from whence we came. You could heal this planet and everyone on it in an instant. Our first step in this journey is along the path of the Toltec Mystery School. The journey through Teotihuacan, the place where man becomes God, a sacred site of the ancient Toltecs. Ancient Toltecs were architects and leaders of spirituality. They were spiritual masters and spiritual artisans. Teotihuacan is located northeast of Mexico City. Less than an hour's drive away, you'll find this magnificent complex of ancient ruins, which houses 2 grand pyramids, the Pyramid of the Moon, which is the mother energy, and the Pyramid of the Sun, which is the father energy. The Pyramid of the Sun is over 200 feet high, and its base dimensions are the same as the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. Teotihuacan was built with the intent to guide humanity in unraveling the mystery of what it really is, unconditional love. The journey through the plazas of Teotihuacan mapped the journey of a spiritual warrior through their own personal dream to the place where they merge with spirit and recover the truth of their nature, the truth of who they really are, their God self within. This journey takes one through many levels of transformation and change, and can take many months or years, thus requiring the warrior to master patience along the way. Of course, there is always the possibility for someone to transcend the world of time and complete the journey in one moment, if they jump out of time and into the now. With the portals that lead us to the pyramids of Giza, in these doorways that are truly portals and grid lines that were used as passageways for these ancient Toltecs and ourselves as we used to live and dream on a much higher level here on earth. The journey. What is this journey? This journey of inner self, this journey of finding our own true nature. The journey begins when we find ourselves in our lives, when we begin to wake up, awaken to a new vibration, some call that's calling us, but we don't know what that is. It's some seeking, it's some magical influence that we're finding in our lives, that we just know that we can't live anymore in the same state of being that we've always been in. So our soul is calling us home and calling us to find what is that true thing that we can find out about ourselves. Oddly, this feeling is not guiding us to look outside ourselves, where we have been conditioned to look for success, relationships, soulmates, peace, happiness, and love. It is asking us to look inside and put our attention deep within ourselves, to look within ourselves with a searching and a tenacity that we never knew existed before. The path and process of that journey is given to us in Teotihuacan and is an individual journey for each participant.
I was going to Teotihuacan, and I stopped first in the Temple of Guadalupe in Mexico City, walking up the hill to her temple. As I sat there, the Virgin came out of the deity, the statue came out of the deity statue in a vision, but it was so real. And she was standing on a snake, circling her feet, and holding 2 chalices. One chalice that went up, and one chalice that faced the earth. And the message to me was, you birth the children going down into the earth, but the way for the rebirth of the spirit must go up through the chalice of the heart. what the message was this: you must love everyone with as much love as you love your children. And I sat there and thought, how will I ever get there? It seemed impossible to me that I could love every human being as I love my children. Well, I went to Teo, and Don Miguel performed a real miracle for me. He sat me on a rock that he had prepared and said, just the women go around her and the men go and witness this. As I sat on the rock and looked back, my eyes came in alignment with the sun. And it was if the sun came through me, went all the way through me, down into the earth, and as it came back, it was coming back up through my body, and I could hear the screaming until I realized it was me screaming. And I was screaming so loudly as I could scream, and I felt that I was screaming for every woman that had ever lived on the earth. In that moment, the vision returned, and I saw her with the snake dancing around her head. And it had been on her feet in the church. Now it's the snake is dancing around her head. And I realized that what it is love. It's all about love. All of this world, all of this humanity is about love. Today, I saw Kali for the first time. I didn't know Kali looked like that. I'd always seen Kali like, scary vision. When I looked at Kali, all I saw was happiness. Happiness, complete happiness and joy. And I realized that these beings, what they're sucking from us is all the negativity and the suffering. She has tremendous magnetism. I have never felt happier than today. Walking in these grounds without any reason or explanation, I feel like I only want to do this for the rest of my life. I could just walk around here forever, just delighted. As I listen to this. There's every sound of the mother here. The birds, the humans, the flies buzzing around, everything is the mother.
And then I got introduced to, let's say, my guru, Swami Kaleshwar, who has passed.
Spirituality means, in my perfect, in one sentence, to knowing about themselves. Who are they? Where they came from? What is the purpose of their born in this planet? What is their next life? What is this all illusions? What is the life and death? Is necessary to every creation in this universe to researching on that. It is the big challenge to find the people themselves.
But he was very young. It was like being with Christ. It was literally like being with Christ. There was like 12 of us going all through India and just experiencing this amazing love and miracles, things you could not explain with your mind, turning the water into wine.
First of all, each person and who they really impressed with, any master, any god. Suppose some people they really like Jesus, some people they really like Mother Mary, some people they really like Buddha, and they have to pull their favorite. So they have to start to think on that.
He really told me I did not have any right to kill another soul. So that related to being vegetarian. Through these years, I have progressed on that role of I wasn't doing it really for the animals, but now I am. I wasn't really doing it for my health, but now I am. So what happened with all of this? Again, peeling those onions. So 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I was like, cancer? How can I have cancer? I've been vegetarian for like 30 years, vegan for 10. But what I know about spirit is when you really are surrendered to spirit, you're always going to be tested. There's really no reason to be here on this planet if you're not being tested. Why did we come here? We came here for an experience. Experiential learning is.
How do you treat your new car?
Pretty good, huh? I don't want to get a scratch on it, want to keep it nice and shiny. How do we treat ourselves? When we don't have awareness, we are going against ourselves a lot. Why are we doing this? To get back to the soul. This is a mirror that's mirroring the soul, the spirit to the soul. It's inward, okay? The energy starts to go out and interact with life, and as it comes back in, you see that's what makes these things. Goes out, has that point of perception, something new, you've learned something, you've had a beautiful experience or a god-awful one, you had another one of those learning experiences, and it comes back in. But guess what? It carries an emotional charge. It doesn't resonate with your soul. For sure it doesn't resonate with light and love. So it starts what? Wounds in the mind. It carries a certain vibration of energy, our emotional component.
I knew I had to do something really drastic. And when I, was diagnosed, of course, the doctors are like, well, you have to do chemo, you have to do radiation. And because of my 25 years of spiritual experience, I was able to go inside and say, okay, what is it that you want me to do? What is this gift? What is it?
The vibrations is like a perfect telephone number to connect the cosmic energy, like a washing negativity, removing stress, negativity.
I knew in my heart that I wasn't afraid to die. I mean, all the things that I have done in my spiritual practice has shown me I'm not afraid of death. In fact, I have died and I didn't want to come back, and I did come back. So, okay. So I was strong enough in my belief system and my spiritual experience to say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to find another way.
This is why people that get to a certain level of awareness, they lose fear. Because that's not truth. It's not true. This is what's going on all the time. Life loves us so much that it tortures us to death.
I came here, I started doing all kinds of things. I now have a biocharger, which is a huge, like a Rife technology. I have a beamer. I have all these things that I, experienced when I came here to Sedona, and now I have my own. And the land, of course, being in the land, but also the people here, I'm on the same wavelength.
So it's all set up for us to grow. Because in order for us to get back to the oneness of ourselves, we got to come out here, mix it up in mix all these things that look like mistakes and, fracking, holes in the sky, all this stuff we're doing. It's not personal, because every system has to break down, including your relationship with the one, because the one is right here. The only place that you will ever feel love is right here, from you to you, the real you. I can sit here, all you people can be loving me so much. Can I feel it? If I love you, I can feel it.
Okay, so 5 years later, I'm cancer-free. I did not do any of those things or take any of those things that my doctor recommended. I love my doctor. She's great, and she's very supportive. She just says, keep doing what you're doing. She doesn't ask me what I've done or what I'm doing.
It brings a lot of happiness and a lot of self-healing. Through the meditation, chanting and chanting some prayers, automatically brings huge joy in their life.
It's just self-healing, being emotionally willing to take responsibility for your own life, your own emotions, your own everything, not expecting it to come from anybody else, not judging anybody else for not giving it to you, not resenting anybody else for not doing anything.
I can feel love here coming out of me to you. I can't feel your love for me. We can resonate together, and we do. Emotions are contagious. So you get around somebody that's got a lot of anger, and here you are, here's your body. You got anger in here, right here? It's got a vibration. that matches this, and it activates this. This is how we're serving each other. This is why you can talk about positive and negative. It's all God, and it's all good.
In the beginning of the month, like the first weekend of the month, I offer Sedona Wellness Weekends where I want to make it really, really easy. You know, you can do 1 day, 2 days, spend the whole weekend, whatever you want to do. It's okay with me. I'm willing to share what I have experienced, what worked for me, all these things. Like with the Swami, sound healing that he did was 5 elements mantras.
It's like a flame. The mantras, even if you notice, if you don't notice, if you touch the flame, it burns. The mantras, the vibrations, even if you know that energy, if you don't know that energy, if you do it, it brings the happy and joy in you, the highest peace. Automatically, the high healing vibration started from your soul.
And then I offer ongoing, like a 3-month program after that, where it's a self-taught thing online where you can go as deep as you want or not. It takes time. It takes time. Is my time up?
Exactly. And I want to also bring up your website so we can show everyone a little bit about the Wellness Weekend. So, of course, you can learn more about Joya and all her work at Soul Search. And you go to her profile here, you'll see a lot of different videos about her galactic seances, Sedona Wellness Weekend retreats, and the Family of Light. And this is what you were talking about just now, right, Joya? The Sedona retreats, which you do every month for people. Here are the online events.
Right. That's the ongoing after the fact, so you can go deeper. Or if you can't come to Sedona, we can do things like this too. But now we get to the fun part. I really feel that everything is about self-expression. So if you go under Circles of Love at the very top, the very first one is called Galactic Seance. I call this, very interactive spiritual variety show where people come and express themselves, raise your vibration, expressing yourself, and then we go do the biocharger, which brings your energy up even more. And then we do a galactic meditation where we're actually literally calling in the spaceships here, in Sedona, because again, as you go up with the onion, you're going to be reaching those galactic heights of vibrations that's going to connect you to your star sisters and brothers. Self-expression is a part of all of it. And really, not just listening to somebody else do something, but doing it yourself. I will stop and just invite everybody to visit me on Soul Search and just come play.
Definitely. So come play. You can find Joya on Soul Search, connect with her online through Soul Search and through her website. If you would like to come to Sedona for a wellness weekend retreat, she does these every month with a lot of different technologies, including the biocharger and the beamer, which she uses for her own self-healing. So Joya, thank you so much for sharing your story and, looking forward to more. And I know you have a Soul Search TV show in the works, so we're excited to have you back and be able to share more about the TV show as well.
Great. Thank you so much.
You, Joya. Thanks for being here tonight with us. See you soon. Wonderful.
Important messages. I'm not there. What can I do? What can I do to raise my vibration, to heal my wound?
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram.
Oh my God, this is why women are always there focused on the men. The guys are doing what they do, and the women are waiting for the phone to ring, you know what I mean? And guess what? Oh, this is what happened to the one. The one that was, you were so in love with the one. But what happens is the natural thing happens, that attraction, repulsion. Oh my God, he slurps when he drinks his coffee. Yeah, in time, you're sitting across the table from somebody that's smoking a cigar with a big beer belly with stains all over his undershirt. What happened to the one? I say we can find God by finding out what's not God. Just like the film
of the silver screen needs to be developed in the dark. Consciousness needs to be developed in the dark.